to kick off.
7-0 is our score as this kick is sent into the air. Devontae Turpin on the return. And they will finally turn it down before it takes this to the other side of midfield.
At the 48-yard line.
Dak going to put it up right away. Going down the center of the field, open man. Take it in. A terrific play all the way around. Finished off by the receiver, who not only made the grab, but Greg turned it up and takes it into the end zone.
And that's the tricky part, Mike, that transition from receiver to runner. In this case, he does it flawlessly. Lift the ball in, secure the catch, and then get upfield and get yourself in the end zone.
Each team one possession, each team a score. 7-7 as they kick it off. And no chance to return this one through the end zone for a touchdown.
35-yard line.
From the 35, it's 1st and 10. He'll be stepped up. The line is square.
You know, Mike, what separates the really elite defensive edge players from everybody else is not only their ability to rush the passer. That's what everybody focuses on. But, man, the defensive ends that are good in the run game, those are the guys that never leave the field.
Herbert to throw on 2nd down. Well, so the screen connected. He's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 5.
3rd down. They need 5. From the gun, it's Herbert. And that is incomplete.
I think he predetermined that 3rd down throw, and even though the coverage was tight, he still tried to fit the ball in there anyway, and it ended up falling incomplete. I think if he goes through his progressions and has a little bit more trust in his protection, I think there's an easier throw to make out
in punt formation.
On 4th down, here comes J.K. Scott to punt. Devontae Turpin to return for the Cowboys. As he takes it up close to midfield.
Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line.
Control here on 1st down. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard
gain
line.
of 16 yards. That's good for a Cowboys 1st down.
Managed to get 2, maybe 3 on that carry. He's tackled there by Quiddy Pay. Now after the run, we get a stoppage for an injured player. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. 2nd down, Prescott. In the middle of the field, it's taken by CBL. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
1st down.
2nd time they've connected on the drive. And this one goes for
19-yard line.
17 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
There we go.
Shotgun snap for Prescott. On the run to the right. He keeps it himself. And they're in business now. He is out of bounds inside the 10.
10 more yards.
10 yards on the scramble there. And he picks up the first down.
Right, this is an impressive run, especially considering the fact it was zone coverage. That's a lot of defenders with eyeballs in the backfield focused on the quarterback. So to be able to escape the pocket and pick up good yardage, really good play.
Ball resting on the 9. First down and goal. West comes. They'll set up the screen. He will into the end zone. Return team going to let that one go. It'll go through the end zone. It's a touchdown.
35-yard line.
Ready? Run! Set. Set.
On first down, Herbert. Looking middle of the field. It's complete. And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35. So a big one there to start the drive.
A gain of 31
yards.
And a Louisville first down.
For your first catch of the game. I mean, to be able to attack the defense with your very first grab really sets things up nicely for the rest of the game. So defensively, they need to tighten up a little bit on the back end. I promise you that's not going to be the last time they call his line.
This defense all over this one. They get him down behind the line. It's a loss of a couple.
We spent so much time, Mike, talking about these defensive backs and their ability in pass coverage, but when you also have a defensive back that can make plays in the run game, especially behind the line of scrimmage, man, those guys are just so hard to find. That was a heck of a job here by this guy.
After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13. Shotgun now for Herbert.
It's one of those plays where you come off the field right and you get a lot of high fives. Hey, good job. But then that secondary's coach pulls you over to the side and says, hey, nice play. But next time, let's come away with the pick.
3rd and long. They send the tight end in motion. On 3rd and long, it's Herbert. That's well done as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
First down.
You just love to see this effort, especially on 3rd down. You understand, you want to keep this possession alive. You have to do everything in your power sometimes to bail out your quarterback, and it's exactly what he does here, and it brings up a fresh set of downs.
Unbalanced look here to the right side on 1st and 10.
Set. Set.
On play action now. Herbert. This is caught 2. And he'll take it on in. Touchdown, Louisville.
Louisville.
Look, Mike, I don't want to imply that they drew this play up specifically because this is when the league is celebrating National Tight Ends Day. But you got to admit, it's kind of a conceivable score on this day in particular. Join his fellow tight ends who've also scored throughout the league.
Cameron Dicker to kick off.
We are all square. 14 apiece the score as this one's away. This one brought in at the 16-yard line. Pass job on the return. He's down close to the 35-yard line.
At their own
We'll get a
34-yard
stoppage here.
line.
There is an injured Cowboy. And as the medical staff looks him over, we'll step aside.
That's good.
That pickup, good for 29 yards.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
One quarter in the books. Knotted at 14 on the scoreboard. We're back to Arlington in a moment. On to the second quarter. Cowboys possess the football as they've got it with first and 10.
Here we go. Whitey. Whitey, thank you.
They'll stay on the ground. He'll be out. Down at the 20.
That's
He is having his way. Another big game. This time, 18 yards and a first down.
What a start to this drive. Back-to-back, two big plays, and after that nice long run, all of a sudden you find yourself first down inside the red zone.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10.
Here we go. Whitey, thank you.
To the ground. He'll get it again. The Cowboys are going to be set up first and goal. Nice run, getting them down to the 6.
First down.
And this
First and
offense
goal
just
at the
continues to
6-yard
chew
line.
up yards and get first down after first down. And defensively now, you find yourself a little bit on your heels. You're defending a goal-to-go situation. They need to step up here and get a stop.
So it took just 3 plays, but just like that, they had first and goal. Nothing there. He is fortunate just to get back to the line. Now it's second and goal.
The
No gain
size,
on
the
the play.
speed, and the
Leads
strength
to
of this
second
defensive
and goal
tackle was on full
at the
display, Mike.
7-yard
He
line.
defeats the block, strikes the ball carrier at their line of scrimmage. He's able to bring him down, keep it to no gain.
Trying to get here from the 7-yard line, second down and goal.
Whitey. Whitey, thank you.
Going back in the backfield. We'll get the carry here. And he's into the end zone. That's his second touchdown of this one. And he's got a half dozen for the year. Good drive. They kept the ball. Great. They moved it effectively down the field and finish it off on the ground for the touchdown.
So often, like, we see teams work on a great drive to get down here close, only to settle for a field goal. But in this case, give them a lot of credit. They put a great drive together, but they're able to capitalize and finish it off with 6.
Here's Smith to return it. They'll get across the 20, mark them down to 23 yards.
At their own 23-yard line.
Lion.
Tight end on the move left. Going on first down is Herbert. Left side is complete. And he'll be taken down all the way up past the 45.
That's good for a
First time these two have connected this afternoon, and it'll wind up being a first down.
47-yard
You've
line.
really seen both teams have a lot of success moving the ball throughout this entire first half, and just seems this possession is going to be more of the same as they start this drive.
Checking, trying to work inside. Not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that.
And the big man in the middle swallows him up right at the line of scrimmage, and I think the next time this offensive play caller decides to go to the ground game, Mike, I bet he's going to find a different place along that defensive front to attack.
Second down. Here's Herbert. He'll swing this out to Hampton. Still going inside the 20. zone, a touchdown pass.
We call those short throw, long run. It's every quarterback's dream. He's able to get the ball out of his hand to his intended target. In this case, this guy, he does the rest.
On the return, here's Turpin. Good return, but he takes it across the 30.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
Yeah, Crease, what do you think?
They'll begin here on the ground. He ran right through one tackle. Falling forward. Good gain on the ground of about 7.
He's brought down at the 39.
I think every running back's dream is that he's going to run through a wide open hole and have breakaway touchdowns, but that's not necessarily the case very often in the NFL. So the backs that are the best are the ones that can get more yardage than maybe what's blocked for. And I think this is a nice physical game here.
Over the middle and intercepted. He's going to be crushed down. What a turn of events here. He has given his guys 1st and 10 in the red zone.
Mike, there's usually such a comfort level when the guy playing quarterback behind center is a veteran. They've seen a lot of ball. You can trust them to make good decisions. And then every once in a while, one just gets away, and that's just simply a bad ball, a bad mistake.
And he will score. O'Brien Hampton. Touchdown, Louisville. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. Kicker now for the extra point. He knocks it through. The Aviators go up by 7. 28-21.
Cowboys 21.
After the touchdown, here's Dicker out to send this one away. On the return, here's Turpin. Good return here. Brings it up to the 33-yard line.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
Yeah, Chris, what do you think?
A 1st down throw for Prescott. He's going to take a shot down the field. He's got it. And he will march well, that is a quick drive and the best way to finish it. The touchdown pass downfield. Brett, you rarely see a deep shot like that to start a drive.
You're right. We don't see it a lot. I wish we did. It's actually the most efficient and safest down to pass the ball. And in this case, the defense is thinking run, got a lot of defenders up in the box, and they're able to strike deep with a pass play for 6.
Across the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. First down, the offense will take over
at their own 24-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24. They'll start by going forward. He's set back with a catch to the ball. That's 3.
It's amazing that guys still end up fumbling the ball because I can tell you from experience, the first 15 minutes of every offensive practice is ball security circuit. And that could be a combination of multiple things. How to go to the ground without getting loose to the ball, almost like the art of falling. It could be running over bags or through bags as guys take swats at the ball trying to knock it out. There are so many ways to simulate what the game is like because at the end of the day, if you want to win in the NFL, protecting the ball is the #1 priority, and it cannot be stressed enough.
At the 14-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 2.
Yeah!
Gonna run with it himself. And he will win the race distance for the touchdown.
And this was a run from the jump. There was no disguising anything. There was 10 guys blocking and 1 guy running. In this case, it's the quarterback taking it in for 6.
Aviators 28.
So now after the touchdown, Pinheiro out to kick it away. Now return coming from the 7. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line.
First down and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Out of the pistol, here's Hampton. 12 yards out of the game. That's good for a quick loss down.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39, they come up on first and 10. Another run here with Hampton. And closes quickly for a pickup of 3.
He's brought down at the
Up from the linebacker spot to make the
It's a
tackle.
pickup of 3. Brings up second and 7.
They face second down and 7. Here's Herbert. Left side catch made by McConkey. And it looks like he's going to come away just short of the first down. Out of bounds. The yard side what they needed. Pick it up on third down. He's going to be out of bounds inside the 40-yard line.
That's good.
That's his third catch of this first half, and good enough for a first down.
And that's an important conversion, not only because it keeps their offense on the field, and now they can go down and see if they can steal some late points. But either way, worst case scenario, Mike, if you're the offense here, you want to possess the ball going into halftime. Don't give your opponent a chance to go down and score on you. So big pickup there. Now we'll see if they can turn it into some points.
A 3-yard pickup. Brings up second and 7.
Second down, they need 7. Curly, Herbert. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line.
12 yards.
A pickup of 12 yards. That's enough for a first down.
A gain of 12.
That last completion's going to go a long way towards at least finishing this 2-minute drive, Mike, with some points. You're already in field goal range, so now the idea is continue to work the clock down, take a couple shots at the end zone. You want to get points, ideally a touchdown.
Touchdown, Louisville. Touchdown. His big game continues. 3 touchdowns in this one, and now 15 for the year. Dicker good with the extra point. Aviators will tie things up, all even at 35. Still a little time. Final minute of this first half. We'll see if they can do anything with this kickoff that is coming their way. On the return, here's Turpin. And a solid run back there. We'll get this out past the 30-yard line.
Over first and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
On first and 10, Prescott. Rolling right. He's going to let one go. Deep the left. And that ball went in too far. Maybe too wide. second down. Here's Prescott. They'll try to hit him with a screen. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one. And it's going to set up third down.
Complete to number 6.
Now the Cowboys going to take a
It's a
timeout.
gain of 4.
And they stop it with
Brings up
19 seconds to go
3rd and 6.
in this opening half.
Just a little slow developing on that screenplay there. It was pretty obvious to the entire defense exactly what was going on. Nobody was thinking pass. Nobody was getting back into their drops, and just nowhere for that back to go.
On third down, Prescott. The throw here is complete. And it looks like he's going to have the first down. What great work after the catch to extend the drive.
He's in a really nice rhythm here on third down. He appears very comfortable operating out of the gun, and he's able to find his man near the sideline, and he's able to extend this drive.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10.
Here we go. Here we go. Kill. Here we go. 46. 26.
To the air again. Prescott. Flutters to the ground. It's incomplete. Fortunate there wasn't a defender right there in the area. It could have been a turnover. Instead, it brings up second down.
I think he knew in the back of his head, Mike, he had to get rid of this ball a little sooner than he would have liked. And with that pressure getting there in a hurry, it just ends up being a wasted down.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. They'll throw again. Jack. He'll find his tight end. Big Ferguson. The tackle's going to be made down at the 40-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Pinheiro going to come on to try a field goal now. This a 57-yard attack. Pinheiro's kick is good. And the Cowboys get 3 here late in the first half to take the lead.
35. Cameron Dicker to kick off.
3 points, all that separates these two sides as half number 2 kicks off. On the return, here's Turpin. And he'll be taken down right at the 29-yard line.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line. First down at the 47-yard line.
The ability to be effective on 1st down, Mike, it just makes everything else easier. In the event you do have to face a 3rd down down the road, they're usually a lot more manageable situations, a lot easier to convert.
Herbert now on 1st down. And he just does slip that one away with a chase down
brings up
Maybe he's
2nd and
fortunate
10 at
that
the
all it is an
22-yard line.
incompletion.
And I like this defensive game plan. When you're going against an elite quarterback like this guy, Mike, you have to get bodies in his face. You have to get him around his feet. You have to move him off his spot. Because if he can sit there in rhythm, on time, comfortable in the pocket, he's going to pick you apart. So it doesn't always have to be a set. You have to make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Nice gain here. He's going to be marked down at the 35-yard line.
And a little
Pick up there of 13. And that will be a first
down
down.
at the 35-yard line.
On play action. Now Herbert. This one broken up. It's incomplete. Defender right there with him. It brings up 2nd down.
Leads to 2nd and 10.
He's usually
at
such
the
a reliable
35-yard
target in
line.
the passing game, Mike. We just don't see him struggle to come down with catches like that all too often. And when you're one of the go-to guys on your team, I know the hit's coming, but guess what? It feels a lot better after you take that hit after a catch than it does after a drop.
Herbert to throw on 2nd down. Gets it away quickly, and it's caught. And he's going to be brought back past the 45.
That's good.
It's a gain of 12 there. It's enough for a first down.
A gain of 12.
Whatever they've talked
And
about in
a
the locker
Louisville
room at the
first
halftime
down.
break seems to have worked. They've come out with a new established energy. You could see it when they took the field. Now this offense seems to be building on it because with that chunk play, just a little bit of rhythm that they can build off of. They have a long way to go to get back into this game, but so far off to a good start.
That's the way you want to run it on first down. A gain of 7.
And on the stop.
At this point, we're going to need two hands to count for how many yards he's averaged in this one, Mike. But unfortunately, it just hasn't been enough to overcome the deficit here at this stage of the game.
Oh, maybe a free play as he'll look to throw. This one, Donkey. And they're going to move this ball inside the 25-yard line. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Out of his gun, here's Herbert. Touchdown, Aviators. His 2nd catch of the game. And both have gone for touchdowns. That is yet another touchdown pass. What a game he is having, throwing his 4th touchdown score of the game.
It's one thing, Mike, to throw 4 touchdowns, but it's really the ease in which he's caught his defense up that has stood out the most. The defense has had no answers for this passing game, and he has just completely had his way with this
to
group.
kick off.
After the touchdown, here's Dicker out to send this one away. Short kick taken just inside the 20. And their drive will begin at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Yeah, here we go.
Quick throw, will be caught by Dicker. They'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain just 3.
On the pickup.
On 2nd down, it's down. 4th to his right. And he'll just bite the bullet and throw this one away. That was a good idea. Didn't force anything there. But now it's going to bring up 3rd down.
They just have to be more creative with their route concepts, Mike. I mean, there's nobody open, nowhere to go with the ball, and quarterback's just forced to throw that one away.
This is 3rd and 6.
Here we go, 40. All right, hey.
Shotgun snap for Prescott. That's complete. Left side. It's Booker. And he's going to get there. He got the first down. He gained a whole lot. But that'll keep this drive rolling.
First down.
Really nice job here by the quarterback, understanding what did he need to pick up a fresh set of downs. In this case, that underneath drag route was all it took. Get the ball into the hands of your receiver, pick up a first down.
Again, Prescott to the end. They'll try to set up the screen here. That keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards. Ball on 47-yard line. Here's second and 3.
At the 47-yard line.
Prescott again. That sideline is nice catch. Stays in bounds. And he's got the first down. Terrific job with the feet to make that one grab.
At the 48-yard line.
The best guys I've been around, Mike, they have a sense where they can see the ball, but they can feel the sideline. And that's kind of an innate sense that these guys have that allows them to concentrate and secure the catch and ensuring that both feet remain in bounds.
That keeps him ahead of schedule. First down completion of 7 yards.
It's a gain of 7.
All right, so anytime you're facing the blitz, the best thing you can do as an offense is just get the ball out of your hand. Get into the hands of receiver, run after catch. In this case, nice job by the defense, rallying to the ball. Modest gain.
Yeah! From the shotgun, it's a give up the middle. And he'll get nothing here.
Taken down
back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Here we go, 46.
Put your hands on him. Get hands on motion man.
26.
3rd and short. Prescott. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 25-yard line.
It's a gain of 18.
3 just on this drive. And it gets his team a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Yeah, here we go. Wait, check. 46. 26.
From the shotgun, it's there. Trying to swing it outside, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsom. Still on the move. Inside the 10. He's going to bring this one back the distance. Touchdown, Louisville. The defense comes up with the big play, and the pick six changes all the momentum. New leader in this one with that touchdown.
Mike, this is one of those plays at the end they're going to look back on and say that play changed the game. Not only do you create the turnover, you take it back the other way, and now you find yourself with the lead here in the second half.
45. Cameron Dicker to kick
After
off.
the touchdown, here's Dicker out to send this one away. On the return, here's Turpin. Nice job on the return. He's down close to the 35-yard line.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
Here we go. 26.
Dak will throw it here on first down. His receiver on the impact. He's blocked. And he'll get about 8 on that one. It's a good start coming after the catch. It's second down.
At the 42-yard line.
And the ball got a good shot at midfield, but that is enough. It's a first down.
7-yard gain. And the Cowboys first down.
Operating from the gun. Here's Dak. This pass, right side, caught by Lance. And they'll take this down inside
A gain of
35.
17 yards. That's another Cowboys first down. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
He'll swing this one out wide to his running back. He's going to have a first down as he's taken down on what is the final play this third quarter. Now Prescott. Will be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up second down.
This defense is vulnerable in a few areas along the back end, but none of that will matter if this protection can't do a better job holding up long enough that they can find some of these open receivers that have been able to separate. He just doesn't have the time to get him the ball.
Second down. Prescott moving outside the pocket. He runs with it. That wisely hits the deck at the end, but he slides after picking up the first down.
This has been a great drive, and mostly at the hands of the man with the ball there. He thought about pulling the trigger on that one, thought better of it, decides to take off with his legs, and now he's going to have first and goal.
Nothing there. He is fortunate just to get back to the line. Now it's second and goal.
It's a loss of one. Brings up second and goal.
I get it here. Here go 46. 26.
To throw is down. Out to the flat, and it's complete. And he will score again. Touchdown, Cowboys. Make it 4 touchdowns for him on the afternoon. The quarterback, with all of his eligible receivers available, uses the back out of the backfield that time, Greg, to take it to the end zone.
And when your running back is a valid threat in the passing game, man, it just gives you so many options. And in this case, it was the running back that was the open target. He's able to put the pass on the money. Easy 6 points.
We'll start at the 4. On first and 10, here's Herbert. As he throws there, it's still lined up incomplete. The pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up second down.
He just stays on his primary read just a little bit too long. I think if he gets that ball to his check down a little bit quicker, not only is the ball completed, but I think there's some room to run. So, again, certain quarterbacks are better than others. The ability to process and eliminate targets quickly to move on to the next, that's a skill that really just comes from experience.
They'll set up the screen. They're after it. Past the 35. And he'll be brought down around the 38-yard line. It's a good screenplay there. A gain of 11 and a first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
From the gun, it's Herbert. He'll go left side and complete this one. And they're going to work this down inside the 45. That's another first down, another big play. The defense has some issues. Gain of 18.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late. When you can get this level of run support out of your secondary, what an advantage for any defense. This defensive back clearly reads run, gets off his block, and he's able to take down the back for a loss of yards.
He is not going to get away. Physical system.
From the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 2 yards. And it's third down.
Shotgun now for Herbert. He's got the open man. That's McConkey. And they're going to move this ball inside the 25-yard line.
And how about the poise of this quarterback? You find yourself down here late in the fourth quarter, Mike, facing a tough third down. You've got to have it. You know what? Calls the play, breaks the huddle. He's like, you know what, Coach? I've got it. That's a big-time throw to now keep this drive alive as they go down looking for that go-ahead touchdown. Throwaway certainly isn't ideal in this situation, especially when you're trailing at this stage of the game, but no damage done. Move on to the next play.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Now, Herbert. And now it's third down.
Certainly hasn't been their best game in terms of rushing the passer, but you find yourself with the lead here in the fourth quarter. No better time for that pass rush to come alive and see if they can close this game out.
On 3rd and long, it's Herbert. Quick run, taken in, and he'll get a good chunk of that yardage back, but he's still well short of the first down.
A gain of 12 yards.
So the hope is when you call these underneath drag routes, you're trying to have your tight end come out the backside of the defense in space. So when you put the ball on him early, it leads to big yards after the catch. In this case, they don't get the real big play they were hoping for, but they'll definitely take it.
Now or never, they'll throw on 4th down. It's complete. And he will pass the first down. So they roll the dice on 4th down in the red zone. It pays off with 1st and goal. 2 minutes remain in the fourth quarter. Greg and I back for the conclusion. In a moment. Here we go. 1st and goal. They'll run with Hampton. And he is planted. Defenders crashing through. Blow up that play behind the line.
A loss was definitely not something they had accounted or budgeted for in this spot. Now, I think it really limits what do you feel comfortable dialing up here on 2nd and goal.
They'll drop to throw. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. Greg, it's the quarterback's best friend, and you were that guy for a lot of years. The tight end in a tight area with man coverage.
Yeah, it's really twofold, Mike, right? First and foremost, we see so many of these tight ends around the league that now have got to the point where one-on-one matchups, that's advantage offense. But then even in the cases they don't create great separation, Mike, it's their size, their catch radius. It's such a friendly target for the quarterback. When things get tight in the red zone, they look to the tight end.
Nice job by the return team as he takes it across the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
This is 1st and 10.
Here we go. 26.
They'll run here. Lots of space. Past the 45. Down the sideline. Inside the 25. And they cannot contain him. He's in the end zone. He'll get it. Touchdown, Dallas. He is having a performance to remember. That is 5 touchdowns for him in this one game.
It's one of those plays that all the offensive line have to do, Mike, is just give him a crease and get him to the 2nd level, because from there, he's going to do the rest. That's as impressive a run as we'll see all year long.
So now playing with the lead after that fourth quarter touchdown back the other way. Very good pickup. Returnable from the 4. They'll be forced out of bounds, but a very solid return.
First down and 10 at their own 46-yard line.
Here's first down.
Set. Ready.
Now Herbert. Goes out wide. They'll swing this out to Houston. And he's got it down. With the first down. Double as good there. He gets the first down and save a timeout. 13 yards to start that drive. And a quick first down.
A gain of 13 yards. And a Louisville first down.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts left. It's first and 10. They'll stick to the ground. And he will not be able to turn upfield. They'll drop him behind the line. Now after the run, we get a stoppage for an injured player. That is a worrisome development here late in the game. Now on second and long.
Capital.
Out of the gun, here's Herbert. A toss, left side, caught by his running back. And taken down after a gain of 9. Third and 4.
They were able to complete this pass, but how often do we see these running backs run these angle routes and they catch it in stride and run a hole through the defense? So, I know the defense gave up some yards here, but it could have been a lot worse.
Herbert going to try to throw on third down. He's over 100 receiving yards on the afternoon now. And first down to boot.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Throwing now is Herbert.
They're trying to push the ball, generate some sort of chunk play by throwing the ball over the top of the defense. It's going to end up being a little bit too predictable. The defense is able to take the ball away, and barring something crazy happening, puts them in a prime position to close this one out.
Yeah, here we go. I take point.
Defense can stop it twice more as the kneel down comes. So it's a win for the Cowboys. This was a game where both offenses were up and down the field, marching the ball at will, matching each other point for point. In the end, a few more defensive stops than their opponents did. That is the difference in this one.